All right, look, I'm not about to sugarcoat what today's video is going to be about. Some of what will be said in this video may and will come across as harsh, or some even may label it as being a hater. I can 100% tell you that is not the intent of today's video. I will repeat that one more time. That is 100% not the intent of today's video. Today's discussion truly and purely comes from a place of love, from respect, out of hope. Nickelodeon All Star Brawl, to me, has a very special place in my heart. And when you hold something dearly and you want to see something do very well, but then you start to see maybe a red flag or a warning sign here or there, you're going to be a little bit worried. And that's what this video is going to be about. And what that is about is, well, as most of you probably heard, Nickelodeon All Star Brawl 2 was delayed once again. Well, just by 4 days. So I guess you could say the delay itself isn't necessarily the issue, although you can always make an argument that if something's delayed, well, it was delayed because of an issue, of a problem. There's something. No matter the length of the delay, there was an issue that caused it to be delayed. But again, let's get back on track here. The delay itself, the 4 days, isn't what I'm focused on. The issue seems to be that this game, the second game in this series, Nickelodeon All Star Brawl 2, seems to be like it's getting rushed out the door. Now, how does that make sense when I just said it's being delayed? Well, as we've seen from that tweet, it said the digital release is now November 7th, but a physical copy, a physical cartridge, a physical disc is releasing 1 month later on December 1st. Why are you splitting the two release dates? That is just mind-boggling. It's almost like something's going on behind the scenes, and it's kind of weird. So let me come at you with this fact. There are people that will only buy digital. There are people that will only buy physical copies. And when a developer decides that they want to already alienate, we'll say 50% of the gamers, they want to alienate the physical copiers. They want to say, oh, you want our game? Well, you have to wait 1 extra month. Why are you doing that to your player base even before the game is out is just the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard of. All right. But maybe that's the thing. Checking out 2 different release dates, and this is going to be my opinion right here. Does it kind of feel that this release date drama is a little bit of Game Mill and Ludosity kind of saying, hey, look, December 1st is the release date we want because we get that tiny bit of extra time to work on the game. We get to put those final touches on what we need, and everything will be ready to go. But then here comes Nickelodeon throwing their weight around once again, saying, no, release it right now. We want those holiday dollars. We got to get it. SpongeBob's on the cover. It's going to sell. So put it out the door right now. Sell it. So is this sort of a compromise? Game Mill and Ludosity said, all right, it's kind of close to final. So here's your digital release, but physical can come later. So that kind of draws the question of, is the physical copy, is there a manufacturing issue going on? Is there some sort of delay or problems with getting physical discs and cartridges? Is there an issue? Well, I kind of looked it up and I found absolutely nothing going on in the gaming world where there's shortages of discs or Nintendo Switch cartridges. So, I mean, heck, check this out. Game Mill themselves, somebody that works on Nickelodeon All Star Brawl 2, Game Mill themselves just released this little doozy of a game. If anybody heard about this brand new King Kong game, basically the King Kong game is complete garbage, one of the worst games ever made in the history of ever. Throw it in the dumpster next to the Gollum game that came out earlier, and what was the other, Superman 64, E.T., throw it in with that. This Game Mill game is absolutely atrocious. I don't know how the devs let this go out the door, but the point isn't really bashing on Game Mill. The point is that this King Kong game just released, and look at this. There's a physical copy of the King Kong game on Nintendo Switch. There's also physical copies for Xbox and PlayStation. But the point is, they just went through this exact process of getting these cartridges and putting this game on and getting it out the door. So it doesn't appear like it's a manufacturing issue at all, right? There's no other instances of this. So it once again feels like this game is kind of being rushed out the door, and we all know how that played out for the first game. We don't want that. We don't want that to happen again. So the reason I brought up the physical copy of the King Kong game that Game Mill just released is because of this. Check out the Nickelodeon All Star Brawl 2 official Twitter that posted this. The Switch physical copy as of right now is just a digital code in the box. Well, last time I checked, a digital code inside a box is not a physical copy. That's a digital code. Like, how do you, what is this nonsense? I'm just saying this from a purely entertainment sort of, I'm kind of baffled at that statement. How is this allowed to be a thing? How does somebody not go, all right, look, they don't even have physical copies ready to go? Yeah, something's a little bit worrying behind the scenes here, right? I mean, take a look at, here's just a couple of the tweets. We're not going to focus on them too much, but look at a couple of these responses to this. What a waste of plastic. And then the other one, you can make a physical copy for the first game, but you can't do it for the second. And then somebody crying with laughter emoji. Like, this is pretty pathetic. And then just a couple more. Boo, wasteful, disappointing, do better next time. Then the last one, massive L, I'm canceling my pre-order. Probably won't get the game unless it's ever on a cart. I told you, there are people that will only buy physical. And if you're going to already alienate those people, especially Nintendo Switch players, and we all know there's a lot of players over on Nintendo Switch that are dying to play Nickelodeon All Star Brawl 2, and you're going to do this to them? I guess that just kind of reinforces my statement from a bit earlier where I said this game feels like it's being rushed out the door again. So to kind of finish up here, again, I know that all of that seemed very critical, and, well, yeah, that was kind of the point. That was certainly the point of the video. Anyone who was around for the release of the first game will remember how much of a disaster that was. The bugs in the game, it felt like the game hadn't even been tested. Everything was like, I'll just keep it at, everything was a disaster. Nothing was going great. The devs even themselves came out and said they would have liked 6 more months to work on the game. But again, Nickelodeon said, nope, put the product out. We're just good as it is right now. So again, one final time, I think I can speak for everybody, or at least most people, when I say we do not want a duplication of what happened with the first game on release. Nobody wants that. So I will leave you with this final statement. Why are you going to make mistakes the first time that you are not going to learn from the second time? We all know that they can do better. The fans deserve better. So why is it such a bad thing to ask for this whole situation to just be better?